Salutations and good morrow everyone, and welcome to a Grounded announcement video. I know, weird, right? But we're actually going to be doing and talking about the announcement that was made on the most recent update from Grounded. Yes, I'm talking we are getting another update to the game of Grounded. It's been confirmed by Eric that we are going to have another update. How they have confirmed this is in their weekly Casually Grounded live stream. They were talking about a charity event that they are doing before on the 11th to the 13th of November. This is their Extra Life charity event that they do over the weekends from time to time. And all in all, it's a really cool charity event that they love to cover and that they are going to try to raise some money for, which is great. But what they're doing is they're setting up milestones and they're going to show off parts of the next update during that live stream. This is great news for us guys because there's a lot of people who are like, well, this is it, you know, this is it. What's next? What's next? What's next? And we weren't sure if there was going to be a what's next. But now there is definitely going to be a what's next. We've gotten confirmation on a new update. I have a couple guesses that I'd love to go over with you guys today. But the other thing I do want to talk about is the fact that they are having Adam himself, which is great, show up and go over what the update is the following Wednesday after the live stream. So they're going to probably go over all of that. Let us know when they're planning on doing a release. Now, I do want to say, if they're following their standard update pattern, right, of Grounded, would be every 3 months. Now, we got Grounded 1.0 in September, October, November, December. It's possible that we could get a December release before Christmas. This wouldn't surprise me with this team because they love to do updates for the community, and also they have standard updates that come out, whether it's November or December, especially with them having to put the Christmas lights on the house because the Christmas lights aren't up on the house yet either. So I have a feeling that we're going to be getting an update here very, very, very soon. And I know that I am excited for that. Now let's talk what I think is going to come to the update because I want to talk about what I thought was lacking from the 1.0 launch of the game. Now, a lot of you guys have gone through and told me, Sim, the game didn't feel like it was completed. It felt like the game was rushed, right? They felt like that they rushed this, they rushed that. You know, they gave us reskinned ants and mites and mosquitoes. They gave us a cool new moth, which was awesome. Couple new bosses, but really there wasn't that much new other than the story, right? And that was the point. They never said that it was going to be the last update to Grounded. They never said it was going to be the final update. They never said that it was going to be anything like that. What they did say is that it was going to be the end of the story of Grounded, right? So if they're going through and they're ending the story, that doesn't mean they're ending development. That doesn't mean they're ending adding new bugs. It doesn't mean they're ending adding new areas. It doesn't mean they're ending adding new perks, new weapons, new armor, all of that. These are all things everybody's wanted to see in new updates for Grounded, and I have a feeling that that's what's going to be coming. So I wanted to go over a couple of ideas that I had for things that could come to Grounded as some updates. First of all, I feel like that one blank area that they have not worked on at all is this deck. There's nothing on this deck except for a sign and a pumpkin every now and then. Oh, and a couple cans of paint that have been there since the beginning of the game. But there's nothing up there. There's no reason to go up there and build anything. There's no reason to go up there and explore. It's a good place to build a base if you're looking for a big open area, but there's nothing up there. And I think that this was made on purpose. Now, we don't have an under construction sign because the game is no longer in beta, so there wouldn't be any under construction signs anymore anywhere in the game. Because if they launched it to 1.0, they'd want you to feel as though you're playing a completed game. That doesn't mean they can't add more content. That doesn't mean they can't add new areas, and it doesn't mean they can't do anything like that. We'll talk about DLC maybe at the end of the video as well, but that's not really what I'm talking about right now. Other things that I think could definitely come to the video, to the game, to the video. Yes, to my video, only my video. No, I'm kidding. The other things that I think that could come to the game are going to be other things like additional creatures, additional bosses, weaponry and armor. There's a lot of people that are missing out the fact that we don't have a tier 3 bow. And I agree. The crossbows are good. We have a tier 3 1 bow and a tier 3 2, or tier 3 1. A tier 1 bow and a tier 2 bow, a tier 2 crossbow, and a tier 3 crossbow, right? But we don't have a tier 3 bow itself. Screw you, Mosquito. Nobody likes you anyway. But we don't have all of that in the game, and a lot of people have wanted an upgraded bow because bows may not do as much damage as crossbows, but they are a heck of a lot faster, and I know people who love to use speed in this game, i.e. yours truly. Look at the weaponry that I use, and look how fast I move around in this game. I like to move quick. I don't like weapons that take a long time to swing. I don't like weapons that take a long time to back up and shoot. You know, I like to use fast weaponry. So I think that that could come. I feel like that they could add more things to the game when it comes to like a fist weapon or something like that. Now, I know that technically that would remove the ability for you to do like unarmed combat. But if you were to go through and say, add in something for like a set of brass knuckles or berry knuckles. I know at one point we had like a berry punching glove or something like that in the dev files, right? And that was really cool. They could also add, I think there was also like an ant punching glove, I think is what it was. Like an ant and a berry punching glove, I think was what was originally in there, but never was released. It's possible that we could get something like that, some knuckle dusters or something like that. It's also possible that they could go through and scrap that idea completely and say, no, all the weapons you have is what you get. I would also like to see other enemies come to the game. Like, we got enough spiders, all right? I know you guys are like, well, add a trapdoor spider, and add a jumping spider, and add a daddy long leg spider, and add a camel spider, and add this spider, and add that spider, and add this spider. You know, I get that, right? Because spiders are scary. The game is meant to be kind of scary, and you know. But like mites, like ants, now like mosquitoes, we got enough of those, you know what I mean? So I think that one of the updates that they could bring are other creatures, i.e. maybe a cricket, a cockroach, maybe earwigs. They were talking about earwigs at one point within dev stuff. There's a lot of different things that could come. So knowing that we're 100% going to get a new update, it's stuff like that. Now, the next thing I do want to talk about has to do with bases, and that's base decorations. I have a feeling that they heard our large complaint of them not adding any decorations in this update. When we got building stuff, we only got these walls. We got ash walls, right? And all in all, the ash walls are really, really good. But that's it, right? We didn't get a new foundation. We got ash walls and we got an orc disruptor, right? As far as I'm aware, that's everything. We didn't get... Oh, and we also got a gravel path. I apologize. I forget about the path all the time. We got a path as well, right? And I've seen some people do some amazing things with these. But that's it. We didn't get new lights. We didn't get new stuff bugs. We didn't get new head mounts. We didn't get any of that. All of these, it's like these were just forgotten, right? And to me, it's like... I know people who do amazing things. I may not be a super builder in this game. I can build a base, right? And I can make it look okay. But I'm not a super builder like some of you guys out there. And I know a lot of those people who play Grounded specifically just to build. Like, I have a friend of mine, Obi Burt Kenobi, over on Twitch. By the way, go check him out. He does amazing buildings. I've watched him build Hogwarts before. I've watched him build Lord of the Rings maps. I've watched him build a huge graveyard with all the graves and stuff. I've seen him do amazing builds in this game. And I almost felt like that it was not a slap in the face, but close to that with not adding anything. I mean, so for instance, we have moths in the game, right? We have no moth head mount. Now, moths are the cutest sounding things in the game, so that doesn't make any sense at all in order for them to put a moth head mount in there, because it would make me sad every time I saw it. But they added new bugs to the game and we didn't get a thing. Black ox beetles have been in the game for how long, and we don't have a head mount for them. Scarabs, no head mount for them, but the head mount would be like that big. So maybe a stuffed scarab would be okay, but using glowing or using shining shells to make a scarab, the stuffed scarab, I mean... Ow. I'm just saying, those are hard to kill unless you go to the pipe under the shed, but that's not for right now, right? But anyway, when we were left without more decorations and stuff, now, I should make a point. Yes, we got more sign frame. We got more paintings inside of the sign frame. Yes, we did. But, like, more tables, more chairs, more other furniture, a new bed maybe. You know, you can use moth fuzz in order to make a new bed, carpeting, being able to paint your walls, stuff like that. I feel like that all of those could be possible things to come. So decorations, new bugs for sure, maybe on top of the shed. Now, there's one other thing I do want to talk about in regards to the house, because the house is technically on the map, small amount of it, but the house is on the map, right? And I don't think that we're meant to go in the house, but it's there. There's been some people that are talking about pictures of people on tables and kitchens and stuff like that. Okay. Do I think we're going to go in the house? Not anytime soon. If we are, I think it's going to be a DLC. This is what I was talking about when I said I wanted to talk about DLC a little bit later, guys. I think if we're going to go inside of the house, I think it's going to be inside of DLC, that it's not going to be anything we're going to get in standard updates, but they did promise that they're never going to have a paid DLC that's going to come to the game. So maybe soon we'll go in the house, but I think it's going to have to be a DLC, and it's going to be a free one. Other yards, though, people have been saying other yards. That I don't think is going to happen. I mean, it took them 2 years to build this yard, right? 2 years to build all this. Now, granted, they built the story and a bunch of new bugs and all that through that time. But if you're going to add a whole nother yard in the game, you're going to need new huge scenery effects. You're going to need new bugs that are going to be over there. You're going to need additional areas to climb and explore into, more areas, more bosses and stuff like that. So a new yard would be like having Grounded 2, not Grounded 1 point anything or even a DLC for Grounded. A new yard would be just massive. But that's at least my thoughts on that. Now, do I really think that we're going to get in the house? Yes. Do I think at some point we're probably going to end up getting in at least maybe the kitchen or the basement or something like that? I think they could add a bunch of new bugs. I'll just name off a couple of them. Cockroaches, like I said, earwigs, crickets, caterpillars, butterflies, houseflies, stuff like that. You know, the sky's really the limit, especially if they go in the house, all the different things that we could do. They could add new armors and weapons for each of them. We could get into tier 4. It's okay to have god level stuff in games. I've said that before. It is okay in RPG and survival games to have god level items that once you get them, you're just unstoppable. That is okay. It's the way games are played. But who knows if they're actually going to add any of that. The last thing I do want to talk about is the possible addition of more pets. People have been saying that they want to be able to ride ladybugs. They want to be able to ride stuff like that, fly around on them. They said taming was not something that they wanted to add to Grounded, that it wasn't ever in their scope and they weren't planning on doing it. Maybe. And lastly, I guess I should mention it because there's going to be people down in the comments that are going to say it if I don't mention it, and that's weather. Weather would be something really cool to come to the game, but I don't think it's going to be anything like storms or anything like that. It might be like it is sprinkling outside, or it is snowing, but the snow is not sticking on the ground kind of thing. Because I don't think they're going to do huge backyard changing events, at least not anytime soon, in according to what I have seen. But guys, that's really what I wanted to talk about, right? I wanted to go over the announcement that we are going to get another Grounded update, that they are doing a charity live stream, because I super support charity live streams. Hell, I'm doing Thank Miss myself. That's literally coming up in like a month, right? So I wanted to support their charity. You guys will see me over there when they're doing their extra live charity stream. And that I wanted to talk a little bit about what I think is going to be coming to the game here in the future. I hope you guys liked this one. If you guys did, make sure you guys hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below as well about what you guys think could come in the next update and what you guys are hoping for most that could be in there. But thank you guys so much. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.